Sounds good. Okay, everybody, this is my dear friend and one of the people that I value so very much in this industry, Mr. Murray Cohn. He's the president of MC Sports Sales Training and Consulting. Murray, I'm so honored that you agreed to do this with me today. I have learned so much from you and had so many unbelievable opportunities to meet some fantastic people because of you. So for that, I am beyond grateful.
Absolutely, Allison. My pleasure. Happy to help.
Tell us a little bit about yourself for those of us that in the world that may actually not have the privilege of knowing you. How did you start in the industry? Tell us a little bit about your background, your story, and then finally end it with what inspired you to create your own consulting and training business?
Absolutely. I'm an inner city kid from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Grew up there. Went to Robert Morris College at the time. First school in the country to have a sports management program in the School of Business. Got to meet some great professors there, and Dr. Bill Sutton and Dr. Dave Sunoka. And those guys changed my life completely. So having the opportunity to do an internship that they helped line up with an indoor soccer team in Pittsburgh in sales. And I didn't like indoor soccer. I didn't want to be in sales. But having that experience as a junior just was amazing. My career absolutely took off from there. I was a director of ticket sales for the Minnesota Strikers indoor soccer team before my 21st birthday, which is insane. And then had the opportunity to work in indoor soccer, work for the Seattle Mariners, work for the Minnesota North Stars and Dallas Stars, and then actually have the opportunity to work in the NBA Team Bow Group. Spent 11 years in the NBA Team Bow Group, grew to the vice president of ticket sales for the NBA, and had an opportunity to go to every team and see what they're doing, best practice, worst practice, amazing. And then 5 years ago, almost, I started my own company. So now I've been working with over 130 different teams, leagues, and organizations, helping them grow their tickets and sponsorship revenue, and absolutely love it. So that's my story.
You know, it's so cool to hear the diversity of your background because so many people, when you talk to them, feel and fear that they need to only stay in one industry and that's the way that they'll be successful. But I really think that, and you're proof of that, that trying different industries, learning from different industries, trying a internship in sales, which you thought you weren't going to like doing, and here you are training sales and have, you know, the NBA behind your name, as well as learning the good, the bad, and the ugly. But also by seeing the bad and the ugly, you can improve and instigate the correct culture and manner that we all hope to achieve and be at. I think that just speaks volumes. And, you know, we've all seen and had incredibly different experiences since March, you know, the middle of March, beginning of March. How was your experience? What did you go through with the beginning of COVID? And with your clients and contacts that you have, what did you do in your position to help maybe build them back up, facilitate introductions, and so forth? Tell me a little bit about the last 6 months.
Absolutely. I've been in the business for 30 years and thought I've seen it all. I've seen lockouts and strikes and 9/11 when sports was shut down in this business. But what's happened the last 6 months has never been anything like it in the sports and entertainment industry. And it's sad and it's hard. But here's the thing. You have two choices. You can either say, oh, this is awful, this is horrible, this is bad, and get depressed about it. Or you can stay positive and say, you know what? We're going to take this situation and make the best of every situation. And I've chose the latter. So it is every day I look at LinkedIn and I see so many people have been furloughed or lost their jobs and things like that. And it's awful. But I know that there is a vaccine on the way. Sports will be back. We will be back to seeing full arenas and full stadiums. And there's going to be so many great opportunities. So over the last 6 months, I've been there for the 130 plus teams that I work with, been understanding, helping them come up with creative ways to drive new revenue. and working with different companies and different products to help them. So I've been able to keep my business afloat, but really the relationships I have with the teams I work with have never been better. And of all of the accomplishments we've had and every record, sales revenue record I've set, what I'm most proud of is I've helped place over 1,000 people in the sports and entertainment industry. And right now, 91 of those people have gone on to be vice presidents or presidents of teams. So that to me is what the legacy is about. And I owe that to Dr. Bill Sutton, my professor, my mentor, my friend, who inspired me to give back and help others, just like he did for me when I was a young junior at Robert Morris College. So this is
That's
going to get
awesome.
better.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to see so many opportunities. And for the good people that are out there, that they're going to actually be able to get through this mess and take a step forward once we get back to the sports and entertainment business the way we know it and love it.
Oh, I agree. I think that's fantastic. Um, obviously um, you and I have our relationship and friendship where you've put me in front and of some pretty amazing and incredible people, including where and how I got into the industry to begin with. Now, those people that don't know you, what are some tips that you have for them that would help them to stand out or encourage them to, because we do know when the tsunami of hiring comes back into play,
Yes.
what are some things that make these individuals stand out differently from just a piece of paper?
Yeah, that's a great question, Allison. I'm glad you asked it. There are 5 things when I'm helping teams, and I don't charge teams to help them find talent. I just think it's the right thing to do. Is there are 5 things that I look for that most of the teams that I work for look for as well. So the first one is positivity. Like, you spend a lot of time working this industry with people. So are they going to be a positive person or a negative person? So positivity matters. Work ethic matters. Are they coachable? Do they want feedback? Do they want to improve? Would be number 3. Honesty and integrity. A lot of people can put up great sales numbers, but they would never be part of my team because they lack honesty and integrity. So that's the 4th thing that I look for. And the 5th thing that I look for is good is the enemy of great. I don't want people that are average, people that are mediocre, people that are happy with being good. I want people that are driven to be great. So those are the 5 characteristics that I look for. But Allison, here's the thing that most people miss is impact.
Mm.
They start, I usually like to count the number of times they have the word I. I, and I hate that. I would rather say the impact, that if you hired me to your team, here's the value that I could add, here's the impact that I could make. That, as a hiring manager and a leader, is what I would be looking for the teams that I represent. So it's impact. Like, what do you do that's going to stand out? And people that don't have experience, you better bring a positive attitude and a work ethic that'll be second to none. For those of you that have experience, how can you tap into that experience and make an impact right away? But you got to do it from the employer's viewpoint, not from what you're personally looking for.
No, I agree. I agree. And as you said, I mean, we in this industry, and I don't care if you're in baseball, hockey, football, any of them, you bust your tail that 30 days, especially before season opener,
Yes.
where it is complete nonstop. And, you put 10, 12, 14 hours in a day because you love it. And if you aren't a positive person, you got to go because you bring the entire group down. And with that, I think the integrity part of it is, if you're being asked to roll out the tarp, do it. Like,
Right.
nobody's above that. I can't
Absolutely.
tell you how many times I've fell on my face trying to roll out the tarp.
I have the video
Anyone
actually.
who's done
Maybe we'll
it
share that
knows.
sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God it wasn't caught on tape. But I think it's almost like, if you think about it, as when you were a kid and you were on a team, those people that were successful were the ones that were the most coachable. They were the ones that were the most humble. And they were the ones that, the first one to show up at practice, the last to leave, and they help the coach carry the bags. Like,
No, you're absolutely right. The people that try to figure it out for themselves are just kidding themselves. From
right.
my experience, the people that ask the most questions are the most talented people on your staff. The
Mhm.
people that want feedback, like what did I do well? What can I do better? Those are the stars.
Absolutely. No, I agree. And to end this on a fun note, what's something that you did differently during COVID that is something you wouldn't necessarily have done? Maybe reading books, maybe, train for a half marathon. I've heard the whole gamut. So, what are some things that you did differently that you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do?
Yeah, so my business pre-COVID was literally I was on the road every week and I didn't take great care of myself. So during COVID, right now, I'm down 32 pounds. I work out every day
Good
and
for
just the
you.
mental fitness part of it. And I could probably challenge Lance Armstrong to a long bike ride right now without medication and actually do very well. So it's just making that part of my routine of making sure I get up every morning and work out hard. I feel so much healthier. And it's weird saying it to people that I'm actually healthier coming through a global pandemic because of that. But it's
Mhm.
also given me inspiration that once we get through this, that I will stay healthy. I feel so much better. I have so much more energy. And so that is another positive that's come out of a very difficult situation.
No,
So
I
absolutely.
agree. I agree. Well, congratulations on your weight loss. That's huge. That's
Yeah,
huge.
feel great. Thank you.
So good for you. Murray, again, thank you so very much. If it's okay with you, I'm going to put your contact info or your LinkedIn connection on
Great.
the page so that people can reach out if they have any additional questions. I promise Murray is a wealth of knowledge and can inspire so many people, even if you aren't someone that's interested in sales. He is incredibly knowledgeable about the industry. So I encourage everybody to reach out. And thank you so much again, Murray. I appreciate you.
Absolutely appreciate you doing this, helping others. It's great to see that, Allison. Good
All
stuff.
right. Thank you.